Hello, I'm Jonasz Lewiński and you're watching Break the Fake. They make them, we break them, and tell you everything you need to know. Well, it looks like Russia's solution to military ineptitude is to, let me check my notes, appoint Vladimir Putin's bodyguard as the new sheriff in town for the Kursk region. That's right, when your generals just can't keep up, why not hand the reins over to a guy whose previous big job was literally to take a bullet if necessary? Meet Alexei Dumin, Putin's go-to guy for a crisis apparently, because nothing says military expertise quite like, hey, weren't you the guy whose job was literally to hold my umbrella the other day? Now, Dumin has been given full authority to deal with the situation, which is Kremlin speak for please fix this mess while I stay as far away as possible. This move is reportedly due to Putin's dissatisfaction with his military leaders. Imagine being so bad at your job that the boss thinks the bodyguard could do better. It's like your dad saying, well, the plumber couldn't fix the sink, so I've called the pizza delivery guy. He has a wrench. And on a pro-Russian social media account run by a former spokesperson for the Russian Ministry of Defense, they are saying this appointment is a sign that law enforcement alone couldn't handle the crisis. That's right, when in doubt, double down on the people who haven't managed to solve a single crisis without creating two new ones. That's the Russian crisis management flowchart. Step 1, deny. Step 2, blame. Step 3, rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic. It's like watching someone try to put out a fire with a flamethrower and thinking, you know what this situation needs? More flames. And what is happening in the Kursk region? Putin's bodyguard is unlikely to appear there again, but we have information from a Ukrainian news channel. Let's take a look.
І зараз ми знаходимося в суді саме в той історичний момент, коли Героям слава! Коли російський триколор падає на землю.
Check this out. A Ukrainian news crew traveled to territory captured in Russia and filmed some footage from the city of Sudzha. They were speaking Ukrainian and no one was trying to interrupt their live stream. At this point, we wanted to see faces of the Russian citizens who still believe in Putin's words about how everything is under control. Absolutely right. Everything is under Ukrainian control. But the plot thickens, or should I say, the wallet thickens. In Russia, when you can't inspire patriotism the old-fashioned way, with pride or duty, you turn to one trusty fallback, cold hard cash. The head of the Karachay-Cherkessia region just announced a sweet deal. Sign up to serve in the Russian military and you could pocket up to 2 million rubles, which is just over $22,000. Now, before you think it is a generous gesture, remember, this isn't a signing bonus for a sports team. It's a last-ditch effort to bolster troop numbers. And boy, the sums are getting desperate. Initially, you'd get a mere $1,000, then it was $14,000, and now we're up to these eye-watering figures. In Moscow, they're also throwing in over $22,000 because nothing says, we value your service, like treating soldiers as items in a clearance sale. And in the world of Kremlin propaganda, consternation abounds because no orders came from above as to who should be explicitly blamed for Ukraine's push into Russia itself.
Давайте все-таки относиться с большим уважением к людям, которые сейчас там, и который выполняет самую важную на земле и самую тяжелую работу, Родину защищая. И, кстати, напомню, что мы им вверяем наших братьев, сыновей, отцов. А на фронте сейчас самые разные возраста. Самые разные. Давайте вот с уважением к нашей армии и к нашим генералам. Дмитрий.
Да, мы сейчас говорим все, что это могли спланировать натовцы, какие-то мифические натовцы. Нету никакого НАТО. Есть Соединенные Штаты и Британия. Два центра, так сказать, в общем, военного принятия решения, больше никого нет.
But if you're wondering who's actually to blame, just follow the trail of rubles leading back to the Kremlin. Yes, the answer is actually quite simple. It is Putin. He's the maestro behind this disastrous symphony, directing his world's second-best army to embark on a venture that now requires bribing citizens to join the cause. If you're looking for the culprit, look no further than his opulent palace in Moscow. Turns out in Russia, money can buy you love, the love of contract soldiers, that is. Now, in the latest episode of Billionaires Chat with former presidents, actually, it could also be Billionaires Chat with billionaires for that matter, Elon Musk and Donald Trump sat down for what can only be described as a marathon of misinformation, boasting, and rewrites of history that would make even George Orwell do a double take. And let's not gloss over Trump's historical flex, reminding us that Russia has been a great military force since they defeated Napoleon and fought alongside the US against Germany. I guess history lessons are optional when you're crafting your own narrative. But here is the kicker. Trump claims Europe isn't pulling its weight financially in supporting Ukraine, insisting the US is stuck with a $250 billion tab, while Europe has only contributed $71 billion. In reality, the number is still a different story. Europe has actually forked out about $205 billion, overshadowing Washington's $108 billion. I mean, who needs facts when you've got old campaign slogans? Am I right? So there you have it. Trump's version of a peace plan seems to involve rewriting the past, ignoring the present, and misdirecting on just about everything else. Let's hear it for nostalgia's sake. It's not just for pop culture anymore. Alright, buckle up, because the plot around the Nord Stream pipeline saga has just thickened to the consistency of a particularly tacky espionage thriller. Now, Germany, playing the role of a keen detective in a crime drama, has issued an arrest warrant for a Ukrainian diver named Volodymyr Z, suspected of being involved in the demolition derby that took place under the sea last year. Why the Z? Well, German law actually provides a suspect's identity is to be granted anonymity during trial, so we only get the first letter of he who shall not be named. Anyway, this news comes to us courtesy of the journalistic trio of Süddeutsche Zeitung, Die Zeit and ARD, turning the case into a media event almost worth popping popcorn for. Holy diver, you've been down too long in the midnight sea. Or, according to the German law enforcement, at least long enough to put a dent in a Russian pipeline. Now, let's add some flavor to this mix. Apparently, our man Volodymyr was last spotted living it up in Poland, with traffic cameras and eyewitnesses contributing to this dramatic revelation. And guess what? He's not the only Ukrainian in the spotlight. There are two more, apparently, forming a trio of underwater demolition enthusiasts. Wonder what the group could actually be named. Perhaps Helldivers. Anyway, these two others haven't had their Hollywood arrest warrant moment yet, but I'll guess it's just a matter of time, I suppose. Anyway, let's pause and appreciate the irony here. The pipelines, Nord Stream 1 and 2, have been very controversial in their time, and widely seen by many as geopolitical chess pieces that helped escalate tensions faster than you can say checkmate in Ukraine. So, if the German prosecutors are this determined to chase down these alleged pipeline saboteurs, maybe, just maybe, we should also expect a thrilling sequel where those who thought laying down these pipelines was a stellar idea get their own moment in the spotlight. Because, let's face it, if blowing up pipelines is a crime drama, building them in the first place was surely the original sin. Stay tuned, as this drama is far from its finale. And with this, we conclude this episode of Break the Fake. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates.